everybody, and welcome to a Slice of Gaming podcast for November 7th, 2025. I'm your host, The Uncharted Wolf, and I'm joined today by two very special guests to talk about all the big delays. Lots of delays this week. Uh, Very sad delays, all things considered. First and foremost, I got my man, Bop.
Wolf, I know you wanted to get Strauss Zelnick on this week, but he had some other matters to attend to. I don't think they're that important, but either way, I'm here in
Yeah,
his
it's
place.
just a tiny thing, a little tiny news story related to
Mhm.
him. And also, we got my man, Jack.
Hello, thank you for having me.
All right. Well, boys, let's get into it. If you guys want to find us, we're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If you want to follow us, we're on Twitter and Blue Sky at a slice of gaming, all one word. And also, like us, review us, helps a ton. Let's get right into it. This is a small thing that I thought we should probably talk about at first. GTA 6 got delayed again. The third delay now. This is Bloomberg. Jason Schreier has this. Grand Theft Auto 6 is postponed again to November 2026. Take-Two Interactive Software Inc. delayed the release of GTA 6 again, pushing the anticipated game by 6 months to November. In a statement Thursday that accompanied quarterly results, Take-Two said it's giving Rockstar Games, quote, team some additional time to finish the game with the high level of polish players expect and deserve. The delay to November 19th of next year means costs to complete the game continue to mount. It is the second public delay for Grand Theft Auto 6, which was originally slated for release in fall 2025 before it was pushed to May of next year. GTA 6 delayed again. Now, I'll admittedly say for myself, I did not think this was too surprising. The idea of another delay. Red Dead 2 got delayed twice. And same with, I think, GTA 5 as well. So, Rockstar, they just delay games. That's just what they do. They want to make sure it's absolutely polished. They cannot have it be flawed at all, considering just how big of an entertainment launch it is. The real surprise to me was just how far back the delay was, specifically to November. And I think you and me were talking about it, Jack, and that we were kind of expecting a delay to October, maybe September, at the earliest, but like we didn't think it would be a full on November delay. So I guess I want to ask you is like how are you feeling about this delay? You think it's now gonna stick to this day or is it gonna get yet another one?
Wolf, for the first time, GTA 6 has given a release date, and I believe in it.
I know, crazy. All it took was the entire. I was thinking about this, man. We got the delay to May of next year, and it was like, oh, it's a year away. And now it's the delay to November. It's like, oh, it's a year away. 6 months later. I feel like I've been fucking Interstellar.
Yeah, it sucks, but I am kind of glad that they did it now. Just let all the publishers next year figure out their
Mm-hmm.
lineup and work around it.
Exactly. Yeah, you'll probably start seeing a lot more games get delayed into May or something. Like there's a 007, Crimson Desert, and one other game. I forget what it was. Oh, Saros. Those are all set to release on like the same week. I bet one of those slips to May.
Yeah, I think the March games probably stay where they are. It's like the April ones, like Saros, that could shuffle around.
Saros is March.
Is it? Oh, yeah, it's late March, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it
so
was the
maybe
same
they
day.
keep them all because it's fiscal end, isn't it? So I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I'm curious to see what like the rest of the industry does with this information. Um, I I mean, listen, this is honestly the best spot for a GTA style game because coming out in late November, it's like no one's releasing games around November or December anymore. Nowadays, that usually is the case for like a Call of Duty, and that's like the one game that can release around the same time as GTA and be fine. But even then, I think Call of Duty is like, oh, we're gonna go for October this time around. So I am very curious to see like kind of how that shakes up, all things considered. Bob, what's kind of your initial thoughts on this whole delay situation?
Listen, as the biggest doubter of the last release date, yeah, this definitely, especially to like, I'm sorry, like a GTA releasing in May or like a summer blockbuster. I get it's Vice City. It just felt like it always had to be a holiday game. These games just work better as like those October, November holiday games. And
Yeah,
GTA was always
last,
the
yeah. I'm so sorry. Continue.
no, you're good. It just always felt like GTA had to be a holiday game.
Yeah, I think the last non-holiday Rockstar release was GTA 4 in like 2008. So like they stick to the holidays. You're right.
But yeah, it definitely I guess I think the one thing I'm surprised about is that they no, because they delayed it the first time in May, right?
The first delay was in May this year, or
Yeah,
yeah. Not technically the first. Oh wait, no.
right.
Yeah, that was
The
it.
most recent. Sorry, I should have said the most recent.
No, that was the first delay. So yeah, you were right.
Yeah, I don't know why I would have assumed the next delay would have come next year, but I didn't even realize that like the financial reporting was going to be out today or when it broke this week, and so I was like in a meeting and I come back and my phone's just blowing up like, oh my god, GTA, like that. This
Yeah.
is again the funniest thing when my friends who don't follow the news that well are immediately texting me like, oh, so GTA 6 got delayed, huh? I'm like, okay, the fact that you know almost
It's
right
the
away,
biggest.
it's so funny. It's just it just permeates through to everybody. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's not the most surprising thing. Clearly, they need to get this right. But I do kind of wonder, like, I know this is probably going to be a topic we also bring up. It's like, I wonder if it was always the plan, or like did they really think they could hit May, or
I
like,
I feel like they really did. Famously, Strauss was like, "I'm very confident in the May release date," as he was with the 2025 release date, and now as he is with the November release date. So it's like I don't know how confident you really are, but there's definitely something I want to get into in a second of like why it delayed. But I do think that they wanted to hit that May date, and I felt like maybe they saw something that's like, wait, no, we can't make it work in time. We need to make sure this is as polished as humanly possible. Or maybe they saw the chance for a delay and they're like, yeah, we might as well. Um, but yeah, let's get into it. Like, why you guys think it got delayed? I have some points here of like kind of different theories, and I want to just like quick thoughts on each of them. First one I found funny was a PC release. No, you think Rockstar cares?
as much as I would love for that to be the case, no.
Sorry, PC gamers, you still smell bad. Um, and then I saw another one, and this one I find more plausible in that it got delayed because of issues for like online, and that online was maybe having issue. Maybe they found some issues with regarding like GTA 6 online, like kind of last second they decided to go for that to make sure it launches safely. We have seen in the past when they do GTA Online, it's always like 2 to 4 weeks. Red Dead Online was about a month after Red Dead 2. So I do think it's very likely that GTA 6 Online is also going to be after launch. And I'm also believing that, yeah, probably it is tuning some stuff up regarding online.
Yeah, that definitely could be believable. I just and I don't know if this is going to be one of them. I just feel like if the game really is as high quality, like genuine high quality as we have seen it, and it's also simultaneously the biggest world that we've seen,
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like I just don't see how this game isn't like Bethesda level bugs just written all over it. This game could be done for like 2 years and it could still be fixing bugs.
I mean, they said that about Red Dead 2, and Red
Yeah.
Dead 2 is like a bugless game. I mean, it has bugs obviously, but not to the same extent of like a Bethesda game. And I feel like for any other company, I would agree with you, Bob. It's like, oh, there's no way it's not buggy. It's like I felt that way about Cyberpunk, and it was way worse than even I imagined. But I feel like with Rockstar, it's like they have infinite time and they have infinite resources. It tells me that it's gonna run just right. And if it doesn't, they would rather delay than allow the game to come out in a buggy state.
Sorry, that was my point. Is that
Okay, yeah, yeah.
it's so but there's probably so many bugs that they're like, shit, we do need to delay this because it's still not like perfect.
Yeah, I bet like the game is definitely like playable from beginning to end. It is at this point of polish now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the points. And then I saw one is about a 60 FPS mode. Maybe they're bugging, delaying to get that in. They don't care. They don't care enough to like delay the game entirely. That could be something that is available at launch now because of that delay, but it wasn't delayed to get it at 60 FPS.
I just they had no problem releasing 30 frame FPS games in the past. So yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think that's a priority for them.
I think Red Dead 2 still runs at 30 FPS on consoles, which
I believe
I mean
so. Yeah.
we heard about that Red Dead 2 next gen patch eventually. We'll see if that's true. I do believe that's true, but yeah. Any other reason you guys think it might got delayed, or you think it really is just polishing for you, Bob?
I mean, I don't know how much this like this worker strike and union debacle
Yeah,
is.
I wanted to bring that up. Yeah, there is a current worker strike. There was a union. There was just this whole drama that I didn't include because I'm like, there's so much here that I want to wait until it's fully finished.
For
But
sure.
I did find this one tweet from Ben Check. If you want to just go over what you find interesting about it while I try to find the tweet summarizing it.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's interesting about so far of what we learned, like Wolf said, we don't have all the facts, and I also don't really want to speculate too hard, but essentially, the morale specifically at Rockstar North seems to be bottom of the barrel. The HR team is like low key sabotaging its own employees who are trying to like speak in confidence about their working situations.
Oh, you're kind of nailing it right now. I found the tweet. It's like all the things you said.
And I know there's like allegations of the company itself trying to suppress the movements to form a union, and there are protests going on right now. But so it's like part of me wants to think like, yeah, this is going to hamper development, but the other part of me is like, Rockstar is massive. 2K, if they wanted to, could make any studio they want come in and support, give
Hmm.
dev support on this game if they felt like it was necessary. So it's like, I don't like, I kind of battle between like, oh yeah, this could be like a real thing, also in hopes of like, hey, Rockstar, figure your shit out because this is
Yeah.
embarrassing. But also uh, the realistic situation of like, I unfortunately don't know how much this will actually affect development.
Oh yeah, no. I don't think it affected this date or this launch at all. I don't think they really care about it, all things considered, which sucks because like, hey, treat your employees right. They're the ones making these massive open world masterpieces. Um, I don't know. I don't know where that story will end. Hopefully, on some type of resolution. I kind of doubt it nowadays, but hey, who knows? Maybe they do. Maybe HR will just stop getting their heads up their asses and just allow the workers to have a damn union. It's just frustrating to read stories like that when it's like, come on, guys, you're better than that. You do not need to be this aggressive. All things considered.
I think the other point too that I was kind of talking to Fusion about last night is that it shows that like even the most anticipated video game of all time, I'll say it easily,
Oh yeah, no doubt.
even they like are having issues developing and releasing this game, and clearly there's a lot of like turmoil and unresolved things going on in Rockstar. And like the sad thing is, even through all of that, there is going to be a company like 3 years from now who sees how much money GTA 6 is making and goes, you know what? We should try that. It's like, guys, this is so clearly unsustainable and not a good model to follow. Only a few can get away with it. You got
Mhm.
like no one else should be trying to attempt this.
Honestly, you mean you want to talk about a company that is able to utilize like a smaller scale model that's working out great is another company within Take Two, and I mean I'll skip ahead to this one. Mafia PS5. Uh, Push Square has Mafia PS5. Mafia in general was a success, beats sales expectations. This is for the old country. In a win for smaller scope titles below the $70 price point, Mafia, the old country publisher 2K, has considered the PS5 game a success, having beaten in its internal sales expectations. As part of its latest financial earnings calls, where it also confirms GTA 6 has been delayed, Strauss Zelnick told the game business that the title's success proves there is market for high quality narrative experiences. What we suspected was confirmed, which is just if you give consumers a great narrative experience that's a lot of fun, somewhat contained, and at a fair price, then you can have the perfect result. Yeah, it seems like right at this moment, they consider that game a big success for them. $50 price point worked. And Bob, I mean, that's an example of like a smaller game being able to do well and like
release in a timely manner in comparison to these AAA giants that take like 8 years to complete and have like a 1% chance of success.
And like, Mafia has its limitations, even though it's still a high, at least like production quality, it's on the higher side. But it's like, I thought it was funny how one of the reviews mentioned like, oh, you can't actually swim in the game, like it like, doesn't it like reset you if you try and fall in the water, like back on the
But
land?
who cares?
But that's
It's
my
not
point, is that you
exciting.
don't like, you need to cut out certain elements of scope, or else the
Oh yeah.
budget, it explodes and the game never comes out and you end up in a situation like a GTA 6. Like, I think that's like, to your point, with, obviously Mafia, and their team is one of the devs realizing this, but I think we're starting to see it more and more of like people realizing like, hey, we don't need to, we don't have the capacity or the budget to put everything we want in this game, so let's make smart cuts where they make sense, and still put out a quality product.
Exactly. Well, we will see. Hopefully, they start to learn lessons from their own studio, Mafia: The Old Country, because the game's really good from what I heard. I haven't checked it out yet, but I am looking to get to it. Let's talk about Borderlands 4, which is also a part of this Take Two kind of diatribe. Uh, it came in below Take Two sales expectations. Speaking of sales expectations, uh, GameSpot, Blair McMarnell over there kind of has a write up. Take Two story of the day, maybe the GTA 6 delay, but the company's investor also calls some info about its other titles. Borderlands 4 fell short of the publisher's sales expectations, despite the biggest launch in franchise history and its debut as the third highest selling game of 2025. While speaking with the game business, Take-Two Strauss Zelnick laid the blame for Borderlands 4 performance on the optimization problems plaguing the PC port. The critical acclaim for Borderlands 4 was superb, and we're happy with the release. Equally, as you know, there are some challenges with the Steam release. Gearbox has been addressing those challenges and will continue to do so. In terms of unit sales sold out of the gate, the numbers were a little softer than we would have liked. In the fullness of time, we think it's going to do great. I found that comment really funny that Strauss was just like, yeah, the PC performance was rough. Because Randy Pitchford was like, no, there's nothing wrong with the PC performance, and went on a whole diatribe when that came out. And his own boss is telling him, yeah, no, there was an issue with the PC performance, and that's why it didn't do so well. Yeah, not a shock. It seems like it's doing worse than I actually expected, at least like from what their expectations were, considering just how well it supposedly sold. I do wonder if this is one of those games that, like, as the Black Friday season approaches, it's going to start getting a second wind and they'll be overall happy with its performance.
Yeah, this is a Square Enix ass headline, because they sold reportedly 5 million copies at launch, and that's, below their expectations. Like, guys, come on. Like, especially after, like, I think the crazy part too about this is that 3 clearly was not, like, did not sell well, and that was genuinely an underperforming, like, underwhelming uh entry in the franchise. So for them to seemingly rebound and have like player sentiment be as positive as it has and sell pretty damn well, it's crazy that they're out here like, yeah, just, it just didn't hit the expectations. Like, come on. Um but yeah, to your point, I think really what Strauss Selnick wanted to say is, yeah, I talked to Randy and he needs to shut the fuck up. that's
Yeah,
that's really what my takeaway from that is.
that's the hope right now, is that Strauss literally went into a meeting with him and it's like, listen, dude, stop talking. You are sabotaging your game, which is in turn sabotaging my profits. And God knows that's the most important thing to Strauss right now. So he's probably real pissed off at Mr. Randy. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we stop seeing Randy pitch for diatribes from now on. Move into our next story. Now, this is a kind of different one. I have two different delay stories here. First and foremost is Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra. Warrior64 puts this: 1943 Rise of Hydra is delayed beyond early 2026. As Skydance Games, our goal is to deliver unforgettable premium games that honor the characters and worlds we're fortunate to work with. Rise of Hydra is an ambitious project, and we are committed to ensuring it meets the level of quality that our team players and fans expect. To fully realize our vision for Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra, we've made the decision to shift our release window beyond early 2026. Really funny, because I didn't even know it had an early 2026 window. I don't know if this game is ever coming out, guys, I'll be honest.
Listen, I just find it hard to get upset about delays these days. So this is perfectly fine. They can take all the time they need. This game will definitely be great for it.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's also a weird one though too, because it's like, man, this thing gets delayed. We haven't seen anything on it like since like what, like 2022, I want to say, if even like maybe 2023. But like this thing's been like kind of radio silent for a while, and it just feels like we will never see more of it. I would not be surprised if this does eventually become vaporware, which is unfortunate because Amy Hennig's working on it. But yeah, I'm kind of with Jack, where it's like I'm just kind of numb now to the delays, except for one game, and that's our next title. Darwin's Paradox drops the Switch
What the
version for
fuck?
Switch 2.
What the fuck?
Delayed to 2026. This is truly the biggest delay story of the week, in my opinion.
It's
It
unacceptable,
should be a-
honestly.
Yeah, unacceptable. Like, people need to be fired, heads need to be rolled. I thought Konami was back. What the fuck is this?
Unironically, I think we gotta go back to our Konami episode and drop it a point because
Yep. Yep.
this is
That's what I'm
heinous.
saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will say, if we're being serious though for a second, I'm not surprised because we literally there was nothing about this game since it was revealed. Not even like a news headline or like developers going, "We're still working on it." Like they appeared in February and then that was it for like 8 months. So I'm not surprised, but I'm also like, damn, I really wanted to play this game. Also, it was a part of my fantasy critic.
I'm more surprised that they're dropping the Switch version, to be honest.
Yeah, I
It
mean, they're
feels like
just
a
trying
game.
the Switch 2 version, which makes a bit more sense.
Yeah, it's just, Switch right there, selling lots still.
Yeah, I mean, hey, though, Jack, what's also selling lots is the Switch 2. Great transition there. This is Nintendo Life. Switch 2 sells over 10 million units. Nintendo increases forecast even further. This is Ollie Reynolds over at Nintendo Life. Let me tell you guys, that boycott really worked, huh? Nintendo released its latest financial data for the 6 months ending 30th September 2025 and has provided updated sales figures. The console has now sold at least 10.36 million units, according to official figures, which is seemingly even more than Nintendo was anticipating. As such, the company has increased its forecast for the year, bumping expected Switch 2 sales up from 15 million to 19 million. Switch 2 software has seen a similar jump from 45 million to 48 million. Now, there's more to it than that, but I mean, just initially, 10 million units in about like 6 months is pretty insane, all things considered. Especially the fact that like Nintendo sees how well it's doing, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna increase our forecast." There's a lot more to that number that I want to move into with the next point, and I'm just taking this from Mario 64. One headline in particular here: 84% of Switch 2 players transitioned from Switch. So right now, Switch 2 is very much if you owned a Switch, you're buying a Switch 2 for that upgraded experience. So it's not too much of a surprise that right now early adopters are going to be that Nintendo hardcore that already owned a Switch and they want to jump into the next console. But it's interesting that like 16%, it's like, huh, those are fully brand new like Nintendo players. I am curious to see just how much this thing is going to sell. If Nintendo's expectations are correct, it will hit about 20 million in less than a year, which is a pretty insane number for a brand new console.
I think the
I-
the one thing I'm curious about in that calculation is where they are deducing that from, only because I could see a world where like, a dad buys his 10-year-old a Switch 2 and the 10-year-old has been like just kind of playing on his dad's Switch 1 and then he's like, "All right, you know what, son? I'm going to make you your own account." And how many, like, I'm sure it's small, but I do wonder, like, I would even argue even like a couple percentages of that are still going to families that have a Switch 1. It's just for different purposes like that, or like maybe
Mhm.
your girlfriend who only plays Animal Crossing's like, well, you know what, I want to play Mario Kart or whatever, and now they're getting their own account.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. If the numbers are not nearly as like the exact data isn't nearly as parsable as we would want it to be. But it's also one of those things where like Nintendo probably looks at it as like, yeah, this is still a lot
Oh,
of
it's
people are
still in
playing
the
Switch.
ballpark. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly. Jack, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, I was just basically going to say what Bob just said. I wonder
Okay,
if this
cool.
is just people making new accounts because that's a lot of people who have apparently never played a Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it says 84% of Switch 2 players transitioned from the Switch. I think it's like
I
it's
think
not saying
that
people who own a Switch already. Those are
I,
Switch 2 people.
I wonder if it's 84% of people transferred their Switch 1 data to their Switch 2.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's probably the data that they're looking at specifically.
Which makes sense. That
Yeah,
would be the easiest way to like point out and look at what it is.
yeah, because
Yeah,
I
I'm
didn't
curious.
even transfer mine, so I'd fall in the percent that didn't own a Switch.
The
Apparently,
16%. Yeah. You never owned a Switch, Jack? Wow.
it's true.
uh
I own 3.
it is interesting also. They point out 400 million Nintendo accounts have been created. 128 million annual playing users, which that is a lot. That tells you a lot of like alternate accounts. People are playing on these devices for extended period of times, especially in the casual base. I also want to bring up some games data here. Hang on. Okay, here we go. With the help of bundles, Mario Kart World has also sold an extraordinary amount, shifting a total of 9.57 million units since launch, a remarkable attach rate of over 92%. Meanwhile, it's been confirmed that Donkey Kong Bonanza has sold 3.49 million units. Nintendo states that a total of 20.62 million software units for Switch 2 have been sold since launch, of which 8.10 million were bundled with the console itself. Which, man, that's pretty insane. The Mario Kart attachment is pretty psychotic when you really look at it because it's like, damn, everyone bought that bundle, huh? Or either they bought the bundle or they bought the game with the Switch 2. That is going to be a pretty insane attachment by the end of the generation.
Yeah, I mean, if there was one game that like you could get people to get at the beginning of a launch cycle, it would be Mario Kart. I mean, it's like that and
Yeah.
Smash probably have like the widest umbrella
Yes.
of people who would be like, "Eh, you know what? We got the new console. Let's get the new game."
100%. And as the Donkey Kong Bonanza numbers, 3.49 million units. I saw some people disappointed by these numbers. I don't think I think that's pretty good. Like a third of people who bought a Switch 2 have bought Bonanza. It was never going to get to Mario Kart numbers, and it is only a Switch 2 game. So this isn't too surprising for me, but hopefully it starts selling more than that, even because it is a really, really good game.
It'll be another evergreen title. It'll sell for years.
Exactly. It'll basically be like Switch 2's like Mario Odyssey, where like it's always going to be there. People are always going to be buying it. Same with
Yeah,
Breath of the Wild.
it's just a pity it's not as good as Mario Odyssey, but
Yeah,
Look,
I think
I agree, Jack, but also it's like you're acting like two legends can't coexist. All right, let's calm
I
down.
know, I know, I'm kidding.
I do think it like I wouldn't say I was disappointed, but I think I was expecting 5. I think in my head I was expecting
No, that's fair.
around 5, and to hear 3, even though yeah, it is still a third of the total sales, and that is very good. I think just in my head I was like, well, this is like the big major release.
Mhm.
I'm almost curious if in an alternate universe it was an Odyssey 2, like what that number would look like.
Well, whatever the next Mario game is, that's gonna probably be the one that sells like 10 million. And I think that's the thing at the end of the day, Bob, is like Donkey Kong isn't Mario. It's just as a franchise, Donkey Kong is not nearly as popular. You put him on the box, a lot of parents are gonna go, "That's not Mario," and they're just gonna skip over it. So I
Yeah.
think honestly, for what the franchise usually sells, I think it's on track to be one of the best-selling Donkey Kong games. I by the end of its life cycle and the
Oh,
Switch 2 life
yeah.
cycle, it will easily be the best-selling Donkey Kong game.
Yeah, I agree. And I would imagine too, Bonanza will probably like, when they do like at the end of the cycle and they're still reporting on like the top 10 or whatever, like I'm
Yeah.
sure Bonanza will stay on there almost the entire life cycle.
Exactly. But yeah, and then there was one other thing I wanted to point out. Oh yeah, it was in the Wario 64 tweet. Preparing more movies in the future. Uh, shocker. I love this graph where they show like the Mario movie 2023, Galaxy movie 2026, Zelda 2027 question mark, as if it's like, oh, that's how you make movies. Um, but yeah, not a shocker at all. Nintendo's making more movies. It is the debate of like what those movies are going to be. I'll ask you guys right now. What do you think is the next Nintendo movie?
Star Tropics.
Wait, what'd you say, Jack?
Star Tropics, of course.
Oh, you know what? I see it. I would
I don't
love
know.
a
You're the movie
AAA
game
with.
now. You tell us.
Okay, okay. We don't gotta start throwing around insults at each other now.
Um, I I could see, I don't know, Star Fox would be so sick. Um,
Oh,
but
like a
also
big
too,
space opera.
yeah, but also too, like I don't know why, like a Earthbound movie for some reason would just hit.
I feel like Earthbound would work better as a TV show.
Yeah.
I think that's my thing is Nintendo's trying to figure out what's the balance of like what can we get as a TV show or a movie or like a Netflix series. That's one prediction I have. I don't know how you guys think. I think they do Pikmin, but it's not going to be a movie. It's going to be like a Pikmin like Netflix series, and it's like 8 episodes that effectively is a movie, but it's like separated into episodes. We will
Do you
see
think they?
what their
Oh,
next.
sorry, go on.
No. You go ahead.
I was going to say, do you think the Pikmin short, the series is made in house?
Yeah, by their production company. I don't think they made that short for nothing. Obviously, it was like kind of an animation test reel, but they have all those Pikmin models. They know how to animate Pikmin. They're definitely working on some type of Pikmin related thing.
Yeah.
Oh wait, okay, there we go. That was a weird glitch on my side. We all good?
Yep, I'm good.
All right, cool. You guys are quiet today. I got it. 950 million downloads on mobile apps is another stat that they shared. Do you get? So I didn't talk about it on the podcast. The Fire Emblem Shadows game that a Fire Emblem mobile game just shadow dropped apparently wasn't very good. uh, do you guys envision them doing even more mobile stuff in the future? Like actually like putting some money behind it, or are they kind of just like testing the water when it comes to that device?
They
Oh, sorry, go on.
No, they put out a Fire Emblem game on mobile.
Yep. It was
Okay, well,
September 25th.
okay. That's all that's my opinion on the matter is
There
I
you
didn't even know
go.
that fucking thing happened.
Oh man.
The other Fire Emblem game on mobile, though, Fire Emblem Heroes, has made more money than every other Fire Emblem game combined. By the sounds of it, though,
It's so
I
funny.
think Chris String
Yeah.
had an episode of the game business relatively recent. It might be like a few weeks ago now, but they were talking about Nintendo's mobile strategy, and it has made them so much money, considering
Yeah,
how
Mario
little they
Kart
seem
Tour.
to. Yeah, Mario Kart Tour. Like I say, Fire Emblem Heroes was a big one. What was the original IP? Was it Dragalia Lost or
Dragalia
something like that?
lost. Yeah, you're right.
So like their games, they do make a lot of mobile. So I could see them like still supporting, like just making new games for it, but more. It just doesn't seem like they're trying very hard. They're just doing it to appease investors more than anything else.
We will see. I don't know what the deal with that mobile strategy really looks like. I remember it was a big cornerstone for them, and then it started becoming an afterthought as soon as the Switch started doing well. Uh, but they probably do want to have that because they want to be everywhere. Their whole strategy is being on every single device possible, and Nintendo is always every. That's their world domination strategy. Next up, also in the financial report, this is a victory lap for me and Bench against Bop.
Mario 64 has this. Going forward, Nintendo will shift its primary development focus to Switch 2 and expand its business around the new platform. Basically, Switch 2 is where they're going to be developing games. So you shouldn't be you shouldn't be expecting many cross-gen releases, Mr. Bop. Mr. Mario next 3D Mario will be cross-gen, Mr. Bop.
Hey, they still had a cross-gen period. Pokemon and Metroid
That's a 1
and
year. That's 1 year.
Tamagotchi. I know, but it's still what now, granted, the Animal Crossing thing we talked about last week, clearly that's bogus. And actually, the thing that made a lot of sense when reading it, because I don't think we really had brought this up as a point, but like the next Animal Crossing game, being able to visit someone's island and being in voice chat or the game chat and like talking to them and doing stuff together, that makes so much sense. Like they wouldn't have that and then not give you that ability on the Switch one, and then people be like, well, why can't I do this? Like stuff like that makes a lot of sense on why they
100%.
would prioritize Switch 2 going forward.
Dude, I was thinking about this of like, what if the next Animal Crossing you could like talk to your villagers through the mic, and
Oh
it's just
god.
like the lamest system humanly possible. Like, I would not imagine it's very good, but I'd be like, hey, you guys should try it though. It'd be funny.
Wait, but that would be
Like,
so funny if you start like a game chat and your villagers like join the game chat session.
oh my god, Pietro, get out of my call, dog. I'm trying to talk to my grandma. Hi, I'm Pietro. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, it'd be some awful like AI voice as well,
Oh,
because Nintendo
100%.
like would 100% do that.
I am Pietro. Oh god. But yeah, that's everything related to Nintendo and that financial report. I gotta say, they seem to be doing well. It's very interesting to see just how much money they're making. I am curious how Pokemon's sales are gonna end up and like where they're gonna end at. Because right now, I mean, like, what was it, 5 million in a week? Tells me it's like right. It's off to a pretty big start. Being on both consoles probably helps it out a ton. I wonder if it starts to become like closer and closer to like 20 million even. I kind of doubt that because it's just not mainline, but I could see it being like even more than sell better than Arceus even.
I think it'll sell better than Arceus. I think this type of this type of Pokemon game will inevitably appeal to more people than Arceus did.
Yeah,
Plus, it looks really good. Like,
and it's on
well,
both platforms.
we had talked about it the other day about Arceus and like my playtime and stuff. I went back just to like boot it up on my TV. I almost threw up
Dude, it
when I
looks
saw how bad Arceus looks on a
it's
Switch too, but there's not a real patch for it. It looks terrible.
it's so funny. It's just like you look at it compared to ZA, it's like, huh, okay, I guess you guys do kind of improve.
Yeah.
That franchise is very funny. Gen 10 next year, which I'm very curious what that looks like.
Same day as Pokemon,
Uh,
baby.
Pokemon baby.
No, same day as GTA.
Oh, dude, that is actually very likely. That is the funny thing is like Nintendo would be the one company to not really care about like Rockstar and what they're doing. So they very plausibly could release Pokemon around the same like month as GTA 6. Which is going to be very funny if they do that. Moving into our next story. This is a PlayStation story. It hit everything except Xbox today, which is interesting. Cloud streaming officially arrives on PlayStation Portal today. Shinobi has this. PS Plus Premium members can now stream thousands of digital PS5 games, hundreds of games to the PS Plus game catalog, redesigned UI, new home screen, search, etc., 3D audio, game invitations, plus more. Pretty big update for the Portal. Now able to actually go from being a kind of device that you stream with the TV to now like you're just a full on streaming cloud device. You don't have to connect to the actual PS5. At least that's how I'm reading it. Bob, you're more interested in crap like this. I'll let you take over. How are you thinking about this?
Yeah, this is a genuine huge update for the Portal, because essentially it means people who don't have a PS5 can now buy one and actually use the system. Now, it is still cloud streaming, but you can actually just connect straight to the cloud like you can Xbox, where it's like you could play Xbox games on the cloud without having an Xbox. It's the same thing here now, where you don't necessarily need a PlayStation and you're just going to the PlayStation. Now, the quality and everything, I don't think we've seen how good that will be, or the latency or anything. But just the fact that you no longer like, because that was always the hard thing, was that, yeah, sure, there's a lot of PS5s, and the Portal did sell well, but at the end of the day, for someone who doesn't have a PS5 and was looking at this, it was a paperweight. They couldn't use it. And so this somehow still opens up an opportunity for a lot of other people who otherwise wouldn't be able to have used it. Now, granted, you still need a PS Plus account and everything, but that's better than needing a PS Plus account and a PlayStation 5. So it's definitely going to add some life into this console. And there's a lot of the catalog's pretty big already. So this is definitely a very positive update from the Portal.
Yeah, people really love this thing. It is a high quality device from everything I said, which is very funny considering where we started with it, where we were all making fun of it. And it's like, wait, no, actually, it's kind of fire. It makes me really interested in what that PlayStation next gen handheld is going to be, which is very much a thing. We know it's a thing. The curiosity really comes from like what exactly that thing is. I'm curious about it. This is funny. You know how I just said there was no Xbox news? Well, Xbox heard me. They felt a disturbance. Uh, I'll let Bob take over this.
Uh-oh.
Hang on. Let me pull the actual.
Wait, is this
headline.
breaking? Like this just happened?
I don't
Yeah,
think it
so
just happened.
do you want me to go?
It was
So
5 hours ago. You go ahead,
ending
Jake.
support for Halo.
Oh, okay.
They are shutting it down. They want all the teams focused on the future of the franchise. Starting November 18th, Operation Infinite will introduce a 2x boost on career rank and SP, yada yada yada, giving you a lot of stuff to make up for the fact that they are done.
Yeah. Now, granted, this was, I think, very well hinted at, considering the Halo Championship Series last week said this was our last game on Infinite. But they're not shutting down the servers, right? They're just not updating it anymore?
It doesn't sound like they're shutting them down
It's just
based on what
it's
I've
just
read.
an update from what I'm reading.
Yeah. Okay. So, like, if you could still play it, but it's just not being, there's not new content, that's fine. If they were shutting down the servers, that would suck way more.
Yeah,
But
not
yeah,
yet.
I think this, yeah, right. This is this makes sense that they're fully shifting development to campaign evolved and whatever the next Halo, quote unquote, real Halo installment is after this. Um, 5 years, or no, I guess it was 4 years. I don't know. It's a bit of a short run, definitely shorter. Was this one of the games that said they had a 10-year plan? I can't remember.
This was
They
indeed.
said it was going to be infinite. It was always going to be there for a long time.
Well, that's even worse. Yeah, I don't know. The
It
writing's
got updated.
obviously,
It got it longer than I expected. I'll say that at
and
least.
that's the thing. I think that's the thing that pisses me off the most, is that Halo Studios genuinely wanted to keep update, like they kind of had the No Man's Sky mentality of like, let's keep working on this, let's keep making it better. There's not a lot of updates they've had over the years that like alienated the community. It was just genuinely people were either tired of Halo or moved on to other things. And I guess just necessarily didn't want to come back. I still jumped in every couple of months, so don't look at me. But yeah, I think this is one of those things where it's like it kind of sucks, because this isn't a situation where the devs kind of sabotage their own game by some of their updates. We've seen plenty of studios do that. Like, these guys genuinely put in great updates and great care into their content, but it just, for whatever reason, wasn't really sticking. And so now it's like, okay, well, if clearly after all this work it's not working, let's just cut ties and work on the next game while still keeping the servers up.
Yeah, it was,
I say it's. Oh, sorry, go on.
Just real quick, it was just that first year of like post-launch update that was so bad that it led to
It was
people
slow.
being
Yes, you're
lost.
right.
Yeah,
You're
and
right.
it took too long, and I think people were frustrated, especially with like campaign co-op split screen. I know that was a big talking point, and it was like too little, too late for many Halo fans at that point. Jack, what were you gonna say?
I think they're making a mistake by completely shutting down development on this when they have a game without multiplayer coming up. Because I feel like there's going
Yeah,
to be at least a selection of people who play Campaign Evolved and they're going to want to play multiplayer afterwards. They're probably going to jump into Infinite and it'll just be kind of stale. And
that's why I
also,
keep.
it's
It's still insane to me that Halo Campaign Evolved does not have the multiplayer. I still think it's weird.
and this, like, obviously, with this, it's absolutely certain that Infinite never comes to PS5 because at this point, why would they? So, again, it's just, yeah, I get it that they'll all these teams will be moving on to the Halo 7 or whatever. So it does make sense in that regard. It's just odd.
I think the only thing I'd say there is that most people want to play the Master Chief Collection multiplayer over Halo Infinite because that one actually has the Halo 1 multiplayer, Halo 1 through 4 multiplayer, and that like people were like even while Infinite was still making updates, there were more people playing Master Chief Collection than there were Infinite. So that's like the one thing where and Infinite they haven't I their updates are very very minimal. There's still
Yeah.
like some updates here and there, but they didn't make a post like this to my knowledge where they're just like, nope, we're done. But I think Halo Studios realized, okay, the 10-year-old game is still having more people play the multiplayer than the 5-year-old or 4-year-old game. Um, you know, so they still have that 10-year-old game. Plus, it has the multiplayer that people would be playing that would want from Campaign Evolve. So they would probably go there anyway.
Yeah. No, I think you're right there. At that point, it's like Master Chief Collection maybe is the onboarding. I just I don't. Hopefully they port Master Chief Collection maybe to PS5. I doubt it, but that would be nice. I I just feel like it's like some type of modern Halo game multiplayer should exist on other platforms, or it should exist sometime soon because it's going to exist eventually with whatever the next big Halo is. I'm just surprised that it hasn't existed already with Campaign Evolved. Again, I keep reiterating that point. I just find it weird that not to have the multiplayer at all. But hey, that is every remake nowadays for a lot of these games. Is like, hey, we're remaking it, but we're getting rid of the multiplayer. It's like, why? Like that has actively less combat content than the original game now. It's just a frustrating thing to me, but otherwise, it seems like Halo Studios is on their work on whatever the next game is, whatever campaign evolved ends up being. I'm just curious what is the tournament's going to play? Are they just going to play Master Chief Collection now?
I honestly, I'm not familiar enough with the esports to give you an answer. I would imagine they just kind of like they're in a downtime until the next Halo game.
Yeah, probably.
Cause like yeah, there's let's see. I mean, they're still doing ranked seasons. Halo will still Halo will still be at DreamHack. Um, Let me go see to Halo Championship
Yeah,
Series.
go for it.
Uh,
Jack, how's your day? While he figures that out.
I'm just reading through this a bit more just to see if there's anything I missed because they are
Gotcha,
saying
gotcha.
that obviously they will still be supporting it. It's just a matter of no more updates. So
Yeah,
there will
probably no
still
more
be,
big updates, just
yeah.
patches and whatnot.
So for
All right.
2026, we're partnering with key members of the esports ecosystem and community to host Halo Infinite competitions and even one of our own. So yeah, it sounds like the Halo Championship Series will be on break, but DreamHack will still have a tournament and like the esports teams themselves, like Space Station, Phase, Cloud9, they will have their own like esports competitions, but like an
Yeah.
actual Halo Championship Series probably will be on hold until the next one comes out, is how I'm
Makes
reading
sense.
this.
Yeah.
Can I just say,
Okay.
it's really insulting that the final update is adding gear to commemorate 10 years of Halo 5. That feels like
that's a
a real
slap in the
slap in the
face.
face. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Halo Infinite players, you have to look at Halo 5 armor.
God, dude. Halo 5, what a game. Let's move into some positive news. This is a quick one. Ad Hoc Studio posts this 2 days, 80 million copies sold. That's not true. We sold 1 million in 10 days, though. Still pretty good. And they also put, Okami Game says this Dispatch has reached over 130,000 concurrent players on Steam with the release of episodes 5 and 6. The game's kicking ass right now. It seems to be selling very well. People are really into it, really uh, oh god, resonating with it. Yeah, having a modern Telltale game and also having these episodes be weekly, I think it has actually helped out a ton. Which is a release I was kind of criticizing, but it seems to actually been working out very well for them. And yeah, it seems like it's a great game, and obviously a great game is gonna sell well. That's just how I feel about that, and I'm very happy to. Just the fact that it's like I see this game talked about everywhere, even like social media platforms where like you're not going to see like, oh, the big new game talked about 24/7. The fact that Dispatch is that game right now. It's like everyone is like kind of talking about their choices or moments, especially the ending of episode 6. People are really into this game and it's awesome to see.
Yeah, I'm actually super excited to see that this game didn't just release and then everyone moved on except for like the diehards who were like fans of it. It sounds like it's actually growing very
Yeah.
organically new fans the longer these releases comes out and kind of cascading to this final drop here in the next couple weeks. So
Next
that's
Wednesday, yeah.
super. Yeah, that's super exciting. And honestly, I really like the demo of this game, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna wait till it's all out. I'm still gonna wait, but I'm very excited. Like I'm way more excited now to jump in than I have been at any other point. Like the hype is genuinely building.
Yeah, and I think again, like the weekly thing that I was really criticizing pre-launch is like, no, that actually worked out way better for it because you're getting people who see something in like episode 4 and they're like, okay, I'm in now, and then they see episode 6, it's like, okay, I'm in now, and you're just growing and growing in player base till I think episode 7 and 8, who are the last ones. I think that's going to be the new concurrent peak because everyone's going to be checking it out around the time it comes out, which is I think 11 p.m. Wednesday. So 11 p.m. my time, CST. So yeah, shout outs to them. I'm going to talk about the game later as I'm also playing it, but it seems like they have really nailed people miss these Telltale style of games a lot. Last story here. Open Critic has some reviews for one game, though, for the reviews of the week, and that's Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, sitting at a 79. IGN gave it an 8. The Gamer gave it a 4 out of 5. GameSpot gave it a 7 out of 10. Nintendo Life at 9 out of 10. Jack, we were joking about this. I think this is literally the exact same score as every other Zelda Warriors game.
Yeah, I think at a certain point, like, obviously the Nintendo fans are going to play it because it's a Nintendo game, but they're going to play it whether they like Warriors or not, and a lot of them won't, and that's fine. You're allowed to not like Warriors. I'm going to think less of you, but you're allowed to not like Warriors. So, no, this is maybe a little lower than I expected, considering the fact it does run better than Age of Calamity, but I do think maybe by the third game people are getting a little bit burnt out with this. So I don't know if there's going to be another 5 Hyrule Warriors coming after this or not, or whether they sort of move on and try and experiment with other things. I'm not sure.
I just wish they'd touch another franchise because it's just been alternating between Zelda and Fire Emblem. And it's like, I don't know, like I feel like I'd be down for a Mario Warriors game. I want to see what that would look like. And also, I think Warriors games are always going to have that like predisposed like audience that play every single one of them. I unironically think like them being like not even like yearly, now 2 a year at this point is causing a bit of burnout and it causes these games to just not excite people anymore. And the fact that like this is a brand new Zelda game and people are like, it says a lot about it in and of itself. I know Zelda diehards that are skipping it because they're like, I don't care, which is crazy to me. I mean, I'm skipping it too, so I can't really say much.
It's just not right. I did think to myself, like, I was like, oh, why didn't they just do a Switch 2 version of Age of Calamity? But knowing Nintendo, they're like, no, if we update that, then people will play that instead of this. So that makes me sad because I would still like to go back to that and play it at 60.
Yeah, nah, that it's weird. I don't know why they don't do that in some way, or just uncap the frame rate. But yeah, seems like right now Hyrule Warriors is doing the same as it always did. I'm curious what the sales are going to be. I assume it sells pretty well. The other Hyrule Warriors game sold decently as well, so maybe not the best selling Warriors game, Hyrule Warriors game, but probably up there. Especially being a first year Switch 2 title. Anyways, that's it for reviews of the week. Let's talk about what we've been playing. I mean, Jack, we can kind of transition. You've been playing Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. How are you finding it so far?
Better than a 79 personally, but you know, no, I'm enjoying it a lot actually. Obviously, I like Warriors, I like Zelda, so this was always my thing. It's, believe it or not, it actually hits 60. It's beautiful to see,
Oh my
honestly.
god, they did it.
They somehow they managed it. Is it a locked 60? No, but it's almost locked. And you know what? I'm proud of them. They finally they achieved it. This is interesting because obviously it's a new Koei Tecmo studio, basically just for Nintendo games, and
Mhm.
you can like obviously the name's stupid, AAA game studio, but you can tell that they wanted this to be a AAA game. Like they went full hog into this. They have these like really close third person camera sections where I'm just like, did they like look at Sony games and think, what if we did that? It's 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 interesting
Basically.
in those moments, but there are so many cutscenes. There are an insane amount of cutscenes.
Is the story
And
good?
too soon for me to say. It's obviously based on
Okay,
Tears
fair.
of the Kingdom story, and I have my issues with Tears of the Kingdom story. But to be honest, most of the flashback scenes in that game were great. So in that regard, this is pretty cool. It is. I was like wondering how they'd do it if they were like, oh, how do we do this without spoiling Tears of the Kingdom? There isn't a way of doing it, so don't worry about it. Just spoil that game to hell. It's great.
Yeah.
um, but it's fun. Obviously, like in Tears of the Kingdom, without spoiling it now, they do just all the Zelda scenes are very quick, so you do just see. It looks like everything happens within a week, whereas in this game it definitely flashes all those moments out. But it fleshes out the characters. They actually give names to those ancient sages, so I'm proud of them for that. They managed it. And yeah, the combat it's great. The music is jaw-droppingly good. Of course it is. It always is
Of
in
course.
Warriors games, but obviously with Age of Calamity they took Breath of the Wild's music and made it good. No, that's not true. But they
Let's calm down.
yeah they made it very good to listen to in normal settings. In this game, they didn't have as much to work with because Tears of the Kingdom's already a banger soundtrack, but they somehow did it. Um, it is fantastic. I I think
Yeah.
I'm only a few hours in, so I'll probably be able to say more at some other point. But right now, yeah, very good.
You reminded me the I can't believe I forgot this. The sages didn't have names in Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm just like, damn! You just like reminded me, like, why the fuck did they not give them names?
Yeah, it is weird and like, but they did a good job. They actually made these sages arguably more likable than most of the other ones.
Nice. And I also wanted to ask you another question. Are you starting to get tired of the Breath of the Wild universe? As I've kind of heard that take meandering around the internet for a while now. Do you think they're gonna stick to the Breath of the Wild like kind of art style and look and world for the next Zelda game? Like how are you thinking about that?
Oh, I'm so in terms of like being tired of it, kind of, but that's mostly because I'm biased and I really don't like the like story, the fake excuse for a timeline because I'm one of those sickos. The just I, don't- I hate the voice acting, so that doesn't help. But maybe
Zelda's voice actor sucks. Like I don't know what's
thank
going
you,
on there.
thank you. You know, I'm sure she's a great voice actress. I just don't think she suits this role, and I think
The
her
voice
delivery is pretty
direction
awful.
is just really bad.
Yes.
Link, you have to save me. It's like, bro, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, and it's not better in this game. That being said, I will be somewhat more nice on the other voice actors in this game. They are much better across the board, I think. There are like a few where I'm like, okay, did they really need to give this character this high of a voice? But of course they did. They needed to make it as anime as possible. In terms of like what I think they will do, I think they will have like the same style of gameplay and everything. I think the aesthetic will be probably pretty similar. I think it'll be a new art style, but based on this, so it will be very close to this, but maybe a little more. I don't know what the word is. Just a little more flair to it. Not that this is
stylish.
like, yeah, like I adore this art style. I will say that it's like one of the things I absolutely love about these games. But I think they will give it a lot more. The Switch 2 will give them a chance to make it a lot more show-offy, I suppose.
A lot more like kind of bolder colors, I think.
Yeah, and like they did experiment with that in Tears of the Kingdom. Like the Sky Islands were like really vibrant, but I'm sort of thinking more detailed and stylish, whereas this is more like there's not much texture in this game or in any
Maybe
of these
maybe
ones.
closer to like Twilight Princess art style. I could see that's like kind
Yeah,
of the next step.
maybe like somewhere in between the two, like
Yeah,
Twilight Princess, but more cell shaded. But I suppose at a certain
Grading.
point that's a bit more like Skyward Sword.
What if it just looks like GTA 5, like 2013 GTA 5? But it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll take it.
That's an awful thing to imagine, but okay.
2013 at 30 FPS, 720p. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I say, I don't think the next Zelda game's going to be for until like 2030 anyway. So
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
gonna
even
be a
like
while.
comprehending that right now. I'm just like, yeah, that's so far off that I don't even know.
God, dude, it's one of those things. I wouldn't mind just like Tears of the Kingdom style. Hey, look at this. Like, I just want to know what it looks like. That's it. I want to know what the art style and the tone is. And then it's like, okay, be radio silent, whatever. But like, I just want to know what it looks like.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, sorry, what'd you say?
No, I just said me too.
Oh, okay, yeah. We're right there together then. Jack, you've also been playing Little Nightmares 3.
Yeah, I can talk about that too. Um, this was so I'm a Little Nightmares fan. To my shame, I love these games. I I was thinking about this. It's weird how like Bandai Namco has tried so many times to start these big like multimedia franchises, like Scarlet Nexus. They wanted that to be a massive franchise with loads of anime and comic book tie-in things. Unknown Nine Awakening, remember that from last year? They wanted that
Yeah,
to be like a multimedia thing. Little
Bamco loves
Nightmares,
starting shit.
but Little Nightmares is that, and it feels like it almost is by accident. Like it feels like they just thought, oh, we'll publish this first game. It seems charming enough. And next thing you know, the two games, or three games now, have sold millions. They have a comic books. They have a book. They have a podcast series, which I've been listening to recently because I just want more from this world. They're getting like an animated series apparently, which sure,
Jeez.
why not?
Really?
And it's like, okay, fine. But as for the game itself, it's I did like it a lot, but it's definitely my least favorite of the trilogy. Um, it going into it, I kind of thought, right, the vibes won't be as good as the first two, but I expect the gameplay to be a bit better because Supermassive is a bigger developer than Tarsia, and I was correct about the vibes not being quite as good, especially of Little Nightmares 2. I think that's still the best one in terms of atmosphere, but
Yeah.
the gameplay is still very jank. They didn't make it very smooth, but it is still probably a little bit better than the other two.
It is interesting, like how low the reviews were for it, and that the way you're talking about it is like, oh no, it's like around the same quality.
Yeah, but I think the reviews. I can't imagine the reviews of the first two were that much higher, to be honest. But I think this one is arguably much lower quality in terms of like just the. I mean, the character designs are always perfect. I love them in all three of these games. The monster designs are great. But the actual like world design is probably a little less memorable. Um, the more in the first game was really cool setting, and then the whole Pale City in the second game was really cool. In this game, it just is multiple locations that don't really feel attached. I suppose it all take place in a world called the Spiral, but you don't really feel it. And I know it's weird to say like the narrative of the game, because the narrative isn't really told to you. You sort of have to figure it out based on over indulging in the lore and just sitting there looking at fan theories for hours. But
That's
this
that
game
good
just,
shit.
yeah, absolutely. This game just doesn't have as much of that as the first two, and it does feel completely separate, which I definitely respect in some ways, because you don't really want to step on the previous creators' toes too much. Like, they made the world, you're making a game in it, so I get it, and I do respect that, but it also doesn't leave much interesting to feast on.
Yeah, you
And
don't
it
have anything
does,
to bite to.
yeah, and it doesn't help that the ending is a complete DLC tease, and that really disappointed me. So
That sucks.
yeah, so altogether, like, it's good. If you like these games, you will like this one, but maybe don't play this one first. If you're going to play any of them, just play the first one first. But yeah,
Yeah.
I will say, I saw people like complaining about the price, and I get it. I got my money's worth out of this, but this is my shit. So, but for anyone else, yeah, wait until it's like a tenner. Just don't buy it for full price.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, at this point, it seems like that franchise is going to be put on ice probably for a bit. I don't know how this did well, like financially. The Little Nightmares games sell pretty well, like secretly. So I'm curious to see what the sales are for this. But I do think even if it's really well, they're like, we don't want to. Like Supermassive is already spread thin. It seems like the original developers are working on Reanimal, which looks awesome. And they maybe want to separate themselves from the franchise a bit. So like get the trilogy done and then like maybe put the franchise on ice for a bit.
Maybe, like I say, this one's so separate that they could just set a game straight after this one. And like you say, the games do sell well. They are making a million things to tie in with all the games. So maybe they put it on ice, but I don't think they put it on ice for very long.
Yeah, we'll see. I think we'll probably understand how it's sold financially in a bit, probably with that Sir Connor report.
Yeah.
Bob, let's move into you. I'll go last. Ain Thor.
Okay, excuse me. It's the AYN Thor. Thank you very much.
Okay, is it an acronym or is that the name?
Uh, it. I don't know if it's an acronym. That's just how everyone pronounces it. For the
Okay.
record, this is a handheld, not a video game.
Oh.
But it was worth bringing up because I did get mine in the mail, and it's kind of been a hot topic. It's surprisingly gained a lot more traction than I thought in the wider gaming community. To be clear, this is not trying to be a Steam Deck. This is not trying to be a Xbox Ally X. It's not trying to be one of those PC handhelds. It has a similar form factor to like a new Nintendo 3DS.
Oh, like the
And
flat one.
yes, and like it's not as thin, but for a PC handheld, this thing is shockingly thin, and it's not. It's also like not as wide as a lot of these other PC handhelds. Like it genuinely has a very small and like pocketable form factor, which I think sure if you get like there was that Ambernick one that looks just like an SP. That one's very pocketable. They've made like the Game Boy Color looking ones. Those ones are very pocketable. But once you get to the bigger ones and these ones that try and emulate like a DS, they're just a little too unwieldy. This one is a very, very compact size, and that's because it's using the Android operating system. So it really like looks and feels like your phone more than a Windows PC where you need a mouse and you have all those weird quirks that come with it, or even Steam Deck. Proton isn't perfect through Linux, but long story short, I got it set up. It can play everything. Like it can play up the Switch, which is huge for an Android-based device, and the dual screen setup like actually works and is very customizable and configurable. So you can emulate obviously DS, 3DS, Wii U very well, but like you can also play like let's say on the top screen I'm playing, Legend of Dragoon on the PS1 and it's a really fucking hard RPG and I need a guide to guide me through it. I can put a guide on that second screen. Or classic brain rot, I'm playing Mega Bonk or Ball Pit on the top and I got a YouTube video going on the bottom or vice versa. So
Oh my
um
god.
it is surprisingly versatile and flexible, and it's got great performance. It's got great battery life. The build quality is very well. I wasn't expecting to like this as much as I do, um, but I've just been a big fan of it. The only caveat I have is DS and 3DS emulation isn't perfect, and the way the capacitive touchscreens worked on those devices versus like modern touchscreens are different. So when you get a stylus and you use it, there is a bit of input lag. So it doesn't fully feel as good as just getting a 3DS. Nowadays and jailbreaking it, but that's obviously getting harder and harder. And obviously, there's a lot more to do on this device. And then, but the last thing I think that is most interesting, and I've kind of alluded to this previously when talking about handhelds, you can't play Steam on Android. They just aren't compatible until recently because there is a company, they're actually associated with the GameSir line of controller products. And GameSir is kind of up there with like 8-bit, though. They make a lot of third-party controllers that are really well made. They have made some application that as long as you connect your Steam account to it, which there's a little bit of data privacy concerns with that, but from everything I have seen, it seems pretty legit, and it's just trying to talk to Steam. You can play Steam games on Android, which is a major breakthrough. And only like because before, if you want to play on Steam, you just have to stream your games. But now you can play them, you can download them to your device and play them locally, and that is massive. And it will update with like the Steam Cloud save, so it's not like you have a completely separate copy that you'd have to manually transfer back and forth. It's all completely compatible. So yeah, long story short, this thing rules, and I will definitely be using it more and more. And it's kind of reignited my want to go back and play some games I haven't played in a while and kind of dip my toes back into emulation. Can I tell you guys what game has been calling to me the most? It's
Pokemon
it's
Pinball.
it's regarded, it's one of the highly regarded RPGs of all time, and I have yet to play it, but I've heard that it might be my shit.
God, am I stupid? Death Stranding.
Oh, I've already played Death Stranding.
Baldur's Gate 3?
No, we gotta go farther back, like way
Okay.
far back.
Final
I don't know,
Fantasy
Chrono
6.
Trigger? Oh.
Yes, Chrono Trigger. So I
That's
might,
I mean, there's probably going to be a Chrono Trigger remake eventually, but yeah, you might as well play the original.
yeah, and I've heard like the DS version is weirdly enough like one of the best
It's the
versions.
definitive one.
Yeah,
Because it has like the cutscenes and everything, and
right.
also it runs way better than the Steam version.
Yeah. So maybe next time I'm on, I'll be talking about Chrono Trigger a little bit. But yeah. So long story short, the AYN Thor, great device. Could not, and it's granted it's a bit pricey. I think it starts at 300. The model I got was 350. So, but we're not talking Xbox Ally X
Yeah.
price. But it's a pretty good middle ground and a very good like if you don't have one of these devices but kind of want to be able to do anything and everything. I would recommend this one over pretty much anything else.
That's good to hear. Love those retro handhelds and how there's like 1,000 of them at this point, and then like everyone always wants to buy all of them instead of playing games on them. That's a fire ass lifestyle if
I
you've got the spending money for them.
God, that's the thing that like It's so true though. Like I think I like tinkering with these things more than I like interacting with them. I've been
Mhm.
better about it recently, but I don't know, man. There's something so fun about just setting these things up and really diving into the weeds on all these different operating systems and stuff.
Dude, I felt that when I hacked my 3DS. I was like, I just want to tinker on
Exactly.
this. I don't want to play anything.
Exactly.
But Bob, you've also been playing Outer Worlds 2. Any updated thoughts from last week?
Yeah, I did. Um, if I remember correctly, I don't think I had beaten the first area last week, and if I did, then it's even less of an update than I thought. But I'm still enjoying my time with it. I still, I think the more and more I go, the more and more I realize this is a Western RPG-esque RPG where like
Mm,
genuinely you do have to hone in on your perks and your skills
yeah, I
and your
heard about that.
traits because you cannot, I mean, you can be a master of all or a jack of all trades, master of none, but you will be locked out of a lot of things. Whereas if you really focus on speech, you really focus on hacking, you really focus on sneak, you're going to get you're going to be able to pass the highest level skill checks, and those are the most interesting interactions I think in this game. And it just continues to blow me away with I had a really funny quest line this week where I can't I don't really want to like there's not a lot of people playing it, so I feel like it's not that crazy of a spoiler. But
Is it a side quest or a main
yeah,
quest?
yeah, it's just a side quest.
You could talk about it a little bit.
So okay, so essentially I'm on this planet and there's like one of the factions, they have this outpost, like more of a military outpost, and in order for me to progress the main quest I gotta talk to this guy and be like, hey, what can I do to help to curry your favor to continue on my quest, right? And so he's like, yeah, we're just having this weird leadership change at this outpost over here, like there's a lot of infighting and we don't really know who's the commander there. So like could you go in and like investigate? So I walk over there and I see two people and one it's called a mantisaur, which is like a giant praying mantis. And this praying mantis got a uniform on. And I
Oh
go in
God.
there and I talk to him and they're like, "Oh yeah, he's the guy in charge." And I'm like, "What do you mean he's the guy in charge?" And I'm like, yeah, the mantisaur, he's in charge and I'm his liaison. I have a little like skin graft in my head that has a little praying mantis antenna and I speak for him and he's in charge here. And I'm like, this is the stupidest, funniest side quest I have ever seen. And then meanwhile, there's a scientist right next to him. So you talk to this guy for like 5 minutes and then you talk to the scientist and the scientist the whole time is like, this dude's full of shit. He is just saying this to get ahead because now he went from like the lowest rank to putting this stupid skin graft on his head. And now he has everyone believing that he is actually the interpreter for this mantisaur and is completely overpassed everyone in military rank and is now running this whole damn thing. And I'm like, yeah, dude, you're just like these kind of side quests I'm just not getting in a lot of video games these days. I talked about last week the kind of like the murdering, like the talking about the security guards or whatever and how they're murdering each other,
Mhm.
and kind of like breaking the fourth wall. I just continue to love. I mean, the main quest is fine so far. I haven't gotten to the point where it picks up because a lot of people said the second half is better, but like the exploring these worlds and the people and the stories are what's keeping me going right now. It's I
Obsidian's
just
good at
continue
that.
to have a blast.
They're really good at writing good side quests that keep you invested in the world.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm learning a lot more about the world, and I continue to, some of my favorite things in this game are you are there to make a decision and you go and talk to everybody and like have to actually make an opinion and like choose a side and like I'm like sitting there making a pro cons list like I don't really know. I mean, yeah, okay, this, and you're weighing your options. Like that to me has always been such a fun thing of RPGs, even if they don't
Yep.
exactly hold weight or like drastically alter your game. I just think it's such a powerful um, tool to use in a video game to really get you invested in this world and these characters, and keep you going.
Yeah, they're Western RPGs are best at that of like just
this choice and consequence style of gameplay that you just don't see too often. It's hard to really get right, but when they get right, it's like stuff like Baldur's Gate 3, where it's like, wow, this is an all timer. But yeah, so shout out to Outer Worlds 2. I'm interested to check that out soon. And as for myself, I've been playing two different games. Silent Hill F. I don't know. Did I talk about it last week, Bob?
You
At
did
all?
a little bit, but like you did.
Okay. I'll update is I did beat the game. I'm on my second playthrough now, and it's going by about a lot quicker. There's actually way more new cutscenes and new stuff than expected. It very much is a game that implores you to do those second playthroughs and like multiple playthroughs past that. There's like 5 different endings. One of them is a joke ending, so really it is 4 different endings. So they very much want you to go ahead and do all that. Um, I don't. I think my plan right now is to go for the second ending and then take a little break and then come back to it later. But so far, I'm really enjoying going for the second ending. They give you a badass sword because if you do a certain quest, you get like a badass sword that's required for one of the endings. I'm like, oh yeah, I get to just fuck around with this. So I'm almost done with that, and then hopefully move into Ghost of Yotei afterwards. But I also went ahead and checked out Dispatch. I played through it. It's right now. It's episodes 1 through 6, and I fucking love this game. And it's funny because like you told me a year ago if I was going to be into this game, like when it was first revealed, it's like not my thing. But I'm fully hooked on this. This game has top tier writing, like genuinely top tier writing. And the way I describe it is, it's not necessarily like, oh, it's really deep and it makes you think. It's more so that these characters in this world, this kind of like superhero society, they actually talk like people. And that's always like a big problem with a lot of dialogue and anything and like movies and games and anything, is that the dialogue always feels stilted. It always feels like it's being written to be on a script first. Whereas like I feel like Dispatch does not have that problem at all. Everything feels natural. These characters actually talk like real people and talk like real scenarios. They use a lot of modern slang, which is very funny. Um, they're all full of life, full of personality. The voice acting is amazing. They got YouTubers to do some of the roles, but like they don't really feel like that. They actually do great jobs in those roles. And obviously you got like really professional voice actors like Travis Willingham, and they're really, really good in it of themselves. And it feels like just a really well cast game, a really well written game. And the gameplay is a ton of fun where you're dispatching these heroes to try to figure out, like, okay, this one does well in this scenario. Oh, but I don't want to use him in case there's something else that comes up. And it starts to get really difficult at a certain point. I will say it kind of loses steam when like you kind of reach max rank by like like I'm already at max rank at episode 6. It's like, well, damn, I guess I don't really have much need to try that much anymore, other than just for my own personal desire, which, of course I'm still gonna try, but it loses a bit of that gameplay edge, but it's still so much fun even by then. And they create all these different scenarios, like at one point dealing with a blackout and like how you're gonna maneuver your heroes through that. It's a blast. I really, really enjoy it. I think it's gonna be on my short list for Goaty. It has very much not let up story wise. The story has been very engaging. There's been a lot of crazy twists. Episode 6 ended on a big cliffhanger. I'm super excited to see how they resolve that next Wednesday. And yeah, I'm fully along with this ride. I think this is a top tier game, and I can't wait to play more. I've been also watching so many people actually play the game in and of themselves, like different streamers, like what their decisions are. And it's just fun to have a game that's this community wide, where like everyone's having different choices, and that's the big thing. There are choices in this game that actually do affect the overall world, like plot and your playthrough. It's not just choices for the sake of choices, like in a lot of Telltale games. It's like, no, like you choose this decision, and it's a whole branch in and of itself that may lead to something completely different for this character and world. Right now, I'm really hoping at this point is that the game does get a season 2, at least announced sometime soon. Because I'm like, damn, I do not want to leave this world or leave these characters anytime soon. So I'm hoping they get a bit of a fast turnaround for that. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, shout outs. I really, really recommend Dispatch. Everyone should check this one out.
I'm excited to get to it when when that final episode releases, because yeah, to your point, this is like in the vein of Telltale games, but there's like actual interesting gameplay here that like
Oh yeah,
keeps me
way
going,
more
which
gameplay.
is such a rare thing for this style of game, and just made me appreciate it even more because it's like you can kind of have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, I think you'll dig it, Bob. It's a ton of fun. And it's also each of the episodes is an hour, so like but most likely like the final play count is 8 hours long,
Yeah, so
which
super
is pretty
digestible.
manageable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was actually again like I really dig this weekly strategy of like 2 episodes a week because I do really enjoy like kind of that conversation and theory crafting. Like I've been talking to a lot of friends about just like, oh man, what is going to happen next week? How are they going to resolve this? But I think it's also going to be a really good binge.
Nice.
But yeah, I think that's everything we've been playing. Um, hoping I can start up Ghost of Yote within the next week. I'm really excited to finally check that out. Any games you guys are gonna check out anytime soon?
I really want to get to Keeper next,
Yeah, that's
after
a
Outer
one.
Worlds, because it is a small enough game to where I could do that. And then um, I will say part of me is thinking I may have some time in December to hop into Ghost. I'm not going to make any promises, but
Mm,
I might be able to sneak in Ghost by the end of the year.
didn't even play Tsushima Stolen Valor.
I might have time for Tsushima. We'll see.
Oh, okay. We'll see.
I need the support
Uh,
on Yoto. It's okay.
what about you, Jack?
Shinobi. I still really want to play that.
Oh
Yeah,
shit!
same,
I
man.
forgot about that.
Yeah, that's one for me too. Same with Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. I really need to
Yeah,
play those two.
it's. I spent so much time on Shadow Labyrinth that I've just missed all these games.
Dude,
So Shinobi
that
is
was
after
the
Hyrule Warriors.
that was the funniest freaking saga. You would not stop playing that game even though it's terrible.
I still have
Ragebound is
nightmares.
very short too, so I would definitely recommend that one before Shinobi because you can get in and out in that one pretty quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably in a couple of sittings actually.
Yeah, no, Ragebound's a big one for me too. Well, we will see how we actually succeed in these. Maybe we'll all just be playing some random shit. Like I've been playing Tabs because it got on PS Plus, that totally accurate battle simulator. I'm like, I fucking love
Good
this
one.
game. It's so like I love ragdoll physics games, and maybe Bop is gonna go start another college football dynasty or something. Like we'll just not progress at all in any of our games.
I never did get too far into Madden, so maybe I'll get back to Madden. Who knows? I still need to also finish the Roadcraft DLC. So
Oh damn, that got DLC already. Shout
it got.
outs.
I mean, I don't know if it's DLC or they just like held back some maps. Like it's really hard to say because it's not like a true expansion, but they did add some stuff. So I will put it in DLC of the year.
Yeah, really. It's gonna DLC of the year. What were the other big DLCs? I don't think there was any. You might actually
There's,
win that one.
I mean, the Pokemon Legends ZA DLC, which we didn't really talk
Oh,
about
that's
today,
next year.
but no, it's not. It's December.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's December, like literally a month from now.
Funniest video game company of all time, man.
Yeah. They release a $60 game and make you pay $30 for an expansion 6 weeks later. Crazy work.
That's so funny. Oh man. Okay, well damn. Okay, I didn't talk about it because honestly, I just forgot. They showed a Megabex Caliber, and I think that's hype. I like that Pokemon a lot.
The Chimecho was pretty good too, honestly.
Yeah, that one looked great. Yeah, shout out Pokemon Legends EA Mega Dimensions. I
Shout
won't
out.
be there. I don't
I
need to
probably
play
won't be either.
it. I like that game a lot, but I'm also like I'm good. I played like 47 hours. I'm good.
Yep.
All right. Well, if everyone enjoyed this episode, I hope you did. If you want, like us, review us, helps a ton. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everything else, and also a slice of gaming at Twitter and Blue Sky. All that really ton. It helps us out a bunch. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Say goodnight, everybody.
Night.
My good night got delayed till next year.
Good night next year.